This is my audience. I'm Lauren Ryan, and this is my informative speech over suicide. In the United States, the 10th leading cause of death is suicide. In 2017, suicide took the lives of 47,000 people. Suicide is a preventable solution to a temporary problem. During my speech, I will talk about what suicide is. I will also talk about how bullying through social media affects people and can lead to suicide. I will also be saying how suicide has a lasting effect on friends and family. There are a number of reasons one may commit suicide. Some reasons that could lead to suicide are that they are depressed, they have a voice inside their head telling them to, also known as schizophrenia. They have bipolar disorder, causing really high moods and very low bad moods. Anorexia and bulimia are eating disorders that have a high suicide rate. Another reason someone may commit suicide is that they have gone through a traumatic experience such as rape, war, and childhood sex abuse. There are a number of ways a person may commit suicide. Some of those ways are by shooting themselves, hanging, a drug overdose, jumping, stabbing, drowning, fire, carbon monoxide poisoning, suffocation, hit by a vehicle, or burning. We can prevent suicide by educating ourselves and others about the warning signs of suicide. We can also show them that we care. According to the article Suicide Prevention on healthguide.com, some warning signs are that someone is thinking about suicide are talking about killing or harming oneself, talking or writing a lot about death or dying, seeking out things that could be used in a suicide attempt, such as weapons and drugs. A more subtle but equally dangerous warning sign of suicide is hopelessness. The internet and social media is a new way to bully and hurt people. A recent form of bullying is cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is where someone is behind a screen and is harassing another person or group of people. Forms of cyberbullying are threatening or abusive text messages, embarrassing images and videos, excluding others purposely online, creating hate groups or pages just to talk bad about someone, encouraging young people to harm themselves, and creating fake accounts to harass someone. Another form is sending explicit messages that are unwanted by the receiver and pressuring children to send sexual images. Ways to stop cyberbullying are: know that it's not your fault, save the evidence, tell the person to stop, reach out for help, block the person, protect your accounts, and don't share passwords with other people. Also, do not respond or retaliate. Sometimes a reaction is exactly what aggressors are looking for because they think it gives them power over you. Social media only adds to these effects. MKey and Child Mind Institute stated that a survey conducted by the Royal Society of Public Health asked 14 to 24-year-olds in the UK how social media platforms impacted their health and well-being. The survey results found that Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram all led to increased feelings of depression, anxiety, poor body image, and loneliness. When you decide to take your life, it leaves others hurting. While suicide is often unexpected, it can also be very violent. I've known people who have lost loved ones to suicide who have thought, why them or why not me? When someone loses a loved one to suicide, stay close to that person. Another thing to do is remember the stories and good about that person. Another thing to do is ask the survivor if they would like to talk about what they went through. Do not be pushy on them and make them talk. Survivors feel that they did something wrong to cause a suicide or are having trouble coming to terms with what happened, so they isolate themselves from people they were close with. Pain and grieving after a loss of suicide can be a lot to take on. A temporary problem can lead to preventable solution. I talked about the reasons why one would commit suicide. I also talked about how cyberbullying affects others and how it can lead to suicide and the effects suicide has on survivors. of someone who has committed suicide. Suicide is a very touchy subject and should be taken very seriously.